when we're going through life, when we're living through this human experience, most of the times we go through a state of uncertainty where we don't know how things are going to turn out on the other end. You have a choice to look at the uncertainty as something that needs to be feared, or you can look at the uncertainty as something that is showing you faith that there's something better on the other side. Hi guys, my name is Nifty, and here we talk all about mindset and manifestation. And today I want to talk about something that is also a little bit personal to me, but I feel like a lot of people out there need to be hearing this today. When we're trying to work towards something or manifest something, one of the most common things that we struggle with is that balance between faith and fear. It's that balance between the uncertainty of not knowing what is going to happen, how it's going to happen, and being certain that whatever is happening for me. So the way I like to look at it is faith and fear are kind of like the two sides of the same coin. Honestly, these are like the two most biggest things that motivate us to do things in life, because we're scared of something or because we're hopeful that something will go a certain way, and that is the only reason we go ahead and do anything in life at all. During the manifestation process, that most people have this struggle between faith and fear, because when you're doing the work, when you're doing all the manifestation routines and rituals, staying in that positive mindset, doing everything that you need to do, every time during the manifestation process, there is a period of uncertainty, there is a period of wait. It is the time between when you know what you want, you realize the desire, and then there's a time when you work for it, when you wait for things to happen, and then you get the manifestation. But this period of waiting, this period of uncertainty is when we need to regulate ourselves. In this period of uncertainty, we can either look at things like, okay, I'm faithful that even though I feel like things are not going my way, they are actually going my way. Or I can be fearful that, oh my God, like I wanted things to happen so and so way and it's not happening, and you can start freaking out. And this is a choice, guys. Like the best way I think to explain this would be to think of anxiety and excitement. Our body and our mind reacts the exact same way to anxiety or excitement. Every time you're anxious or excited, your heart starts beating fast, your palms get sweaty, you get nervous, you have that feeling of, that feeling. And the thing is, you either call that feeling anxiety or you call that feeling excitement. When you're going on stage to talk in front of people, you know that everybody goes through it, everybody feels that fear or that excitement, whatever you want to call it, but everybody feels that rush, that uncertainty of going onto stage, of talking in front of people, of being judged. Everybody feels it, no matter how experienced speaker you are. Every pop star before they go out on the stage for their concert, every guru before they go out and talk in front of students, every time the feelings that come up, the way you feel, it's the same. You either call it anxiety or you call it excitement. But end of the day, it depends on you. If you decide that this is anxiety, well, it's going to be anxiety. If you choose to decide that, no, this is excitement, I'm not able to fall asleep because I'm excited for what is coming tomorrow, you're telling yourself this is excitement, and your brain, your subconscious is going to be like, okay, this person is excited, this is something good. And the exact same way your body and mind reacts, but you are giving it two different names, and that is the way you look at the world. Same situation, same circumstances, you can either choose to look at it as something that needs to be feared, or you can choose to look at it as something where you need to have a little bit more faith. So one thing I have noticed personally is this problem of faith and fear becomes the most dominant or common when you're like halfway through your manifestation process. When you're working on something and you start seeing that the universe is kind of like giving you bits and pieces of what it is you want. For example, let's say you're trying to manifest a job, and suddenly you have this job interview with this perfect company that you think is everything that you have been manifesting. Or maybe you're trying to manifest love and you go out on a date, and suddenly universe sends you this one guy who's like everything you've always wanted. But halfway through the process, you think that, oh my God, my manifestation is showing up. This is it. This is what I have been praying for. This is what I have been hoping for. And we get so attached that this is it. This job is the job I'm manifesting. This person is the person I'm manifesting. And we start sharing it with the universe. We start telling our friends, we start telling other people, and we open up our energies. And then we see that, oh, this job did not go through, like they rejected me, or this guy does not want to see me again. And now this causes a lot of fear in our head because we were so attached to that outcome. Like this has happened to me, guys. This job example and guy example I'm giving you is because I have been in the shoes in the last 2 months. Like I was so attached to this job that I thought that, oh my God, this is it. I have to get it. I was like emailing them every other day, asking them what's happening. And when things weren't going the way I wanted to, when I did not get that job, I would be so disappointed. When the guy would not text me back, I would be so disappointed because in my mind, I was like, oh my God, this is it. And when it doesn't happen, we start going into that fear. And you need to realize that the only reason this happens is because we are too attached to the outcome. You need to know that just because something looks like it's something that you've been trying to manifest does not necessarily mean that this is what is best for you. Sometimes universe just gives you something just to see if you are smart enough to handle it. So this is a big thing to remember, that when you're trying to manifest, do not get attached to the outcome of what it is you're trying to manifest. Like, you know what it is you want, but leave the how it's going to happen to the universe. Just because you gave a job interview, maybe you might get job from that way, but maybe you might not. Maybe there's something else better out there for you. Like when I gave the interview for the current job that I have, I was really excited and happy, and the interview was like all right. It wasn't like crazy amazing or something like that. And honestly, I had given better job interviews where I thought that I would 100% get the job, and I did. And even though I had hopes for this job that I have right now, it took a while. Like it was probably maybe 1 month after I gave the interview when I had completely forgotten about this job interview that this job actually came up. And this is something to learn, guys. The moment you completely detach yourself from the outcome is when the outcome will come into your life. The moment you stop expecting this guy that you're trying to manifest to come into your life, that is when it's going to happen. The more you're fixated on, oh my God, maybe this is it, this is how it's going to happen, this is the person, this is the job, the more you try to understand the how, the more you're actually giving your precious energy to something that is not aligned to you, and that's only going to make your manifestations come to you more slowly because you are spending your time and energy on something that is not aligned to you. While you could just be sitting here and having a great time, having fun, know that what it is you want is coming to you and enjoying the process. Even though you gave that interview, even though you went on that date, you're still having fun, you're still living your best life. That is when universe will be like,
okay, she doesn't care if she has this thing or not. She is still happy. So let me give it to her because that's what she wants.
And when you're living in that state of wish fulfilled, even when the things comes to you, it's not gonna feel like, oh my God, this happened. It's gonna feel more like, oh wow, it happened. Like this is something I've been manifesting for so long. And it's gonna feel so natural because you have been living in the end state. You have been living like you already have this thing for so long that now you already have it, and it still feels like, oh wow, yeah, I've always had this. You know, that's the feeling you're gonna get. So now we're going to talk about a few things that we usually do, and I'm gonna tell you how you're gonna flip the script in your brain to convince yourself that this is not something to be feared, but this is something to have faith. So every time you have a doubt or a fear of how something is going to happen, instead of fixating on that doubt, instead of fixating on that fear, instead of asking questions to your mind, which is going to reinforce that belief that this is scary, this is not happening, instead, look at it as everything is happening for you. Even the worst of the worst things that's happening in your life is happening for you. If that person is not texting you back, universe is protecting you from something, bitch. Remember that. If you do not get that job, because universe has a better job for you, okay? So just focus on the good and always remember that everything that's happening is happening for you. You are the center of this universe and everything is manifesting for you. The second thing is over expectations. Like I said, this goes back to the last thing I was talking about. When you're so attached to something happening a certain way, the more attached you are to it, the more you're going to have expectations from that thing. And when that thing doesn't happen, the more you're going to be disappointed and the more you're going to feel that fear and that lack and that uncertainty because you thought that this was it. You were giving this thing all your energy and all your time and attention and focus, and that thing wasn't it. And now you're feeling completely drained because you gave all this time and energy into this thing, and this thing fell apart, and now you're drained because that thing took all your energy. So do not do that. Do not give all of your time and energy to something that is not aligned to you. Instead, stay detached. Have fun in the process. Universe sends you good things. Be grateful for those good things. Enjoy the good things, but do not get attached. Do not have so much expectations that this is how it's going to happen. Instead, live the life you were here to live. Live that human experience, guys. Like, we are here to just live on this earth for a little bit, to enjoy everything that life has to offer. So just live it. Do not get attached to a person or a job or whatever it is that you are trying to manifest right now, and just live knowing that everything you want is coming to you. Another big thing that we need to address in this video is a self-sabotage. So during the manifestation process, most of the process is the faith and the waiting. The patience part is probably the biggest in the manifestation process. So every time you have the desire, and before the desire is given to you, there is a period of wait. And this period of wait is when most people self-sabotage their own manifestations. And this is because we are not patient. We are used to wanting something and getting it the very next day. And manifestation is a long time game, guys. It's not something that you just manifest today and tomorrow it shows up. It's about, okay, this is what I want in my life, and I know I'm gonna get it either today, tomorrow, or 1 month from now, or maybe 1 year from now, 1 decade from now, but it doesn't matter because it is going to be mine. So instead of self-sabotaging yourself that why is it not here, it's not working, and having all the fear and doubts and judging yourself and thinking you're not doing enough, instead of that, just be consistent with what you're doing. If you have a manifestation routine that you follow, be consistent with your routine. Nothing will beat persistence and consistency when it comes to manifestation. So for me, this was something I learned the hard way. Since I think last year of October, I've been trying to manifest 10K months. And every month as it would go by and I would not hit my 10K month, I would become so sad. And eventually it came to the point where I was like, oh my God, like what is even the point of setting this monthly goal of hitting 10K when I'm not hitting it? And this happened once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. And then I don't know when along the process, something switched in my mind. I changed my gears, and suddenly I went into this feeling that, you know what? I know that I am going to hit a 10K month pretty soon, but it doesn't have to be this month or next month, or it really doesn't matter when it happens. It just needs to happen. And as long as I have the faith and I'm working towards it with the faith that this is going to happen, it will happen. It is inevitable. Like, it has to happen. As I went into that mindset, manifestation became a lot easier because I was not constricting myself with time and self-sabotage. And when I didn't hit my goals on time, I wasn't like beating myself up or thinking that I'm not doing enough or I'm not good enough. I stopped thinking these things because I was not focused on the outcome, but I was living my life, my best life, while expecting the best things to happen. And that's how universe was like, okay, you're doing your thing, you're having fun, you're enjoying it, and now I will give it to you. Have I hit my 10K months yet? No. But when I do, will I be like, oh my God, I hit my 10K month finally? Probably not, because for so long I've been manifesting it happening. So when it does happen, it's going to feel like really natural to me, like, oh yeah, this was meant to be. Like, I've been wanting this, I've been manifesting this, I've been visualizing this for so long, and now it's finally happened. Great. Okay, now what? That's literally what my reaction is gonna be. In my head, I'm already there, right? It's only a matter of time that you've put this in your subconscious, and now things in your reality are going to show up what is actually embedded in your subconscious. So if you are still thinking about having fear over faith, just remember that there is a reason you have this desire that you have. The only reason you have this desire is because there is somebody or something out there that exactly matches everything you want, and that is the only reason you have that desire. God never gives us any desires that we are not capable of achieving. So if you have the desire, it is because there is that thing that you want out there, and do not give up. Stay consistent. Believe that your desires are your desires and they will be yours eventually. Just go in with that faith. Know that what you want exists and it is looking for you just as much as you are looking for it. That job that you want, that job is looking for you. That person that you want, that person is looking for you. So babe, put this in your mind. This is your world and everything you want wants you back. And sometimes it's really good to just take a moment to yourself and self-reflect, because these times of fear and faith, that's uncertainty, is when you can actually build on yourself and your self-concept and what your core desires are. So every time you have this feeling of fear, it's a time for you to self-reflect and see why it is you feel that way. Maybe there's a subconscious block that you need to clear out, and this is the time for you to reflect and see and change what it is that you don't like about what you're feeling. Remember that your emotions are a habit, and if you're used to feeling a certain way, you can change that. But before you change that, you have to become self-aware. And the last thing I want to mention is everything that's happening in your life is either a blessing or a lesson. And sometimes we go through patterns in our life. If you see that you're trying to manifest something and every time it's the same thing that's happening in a different situation. So for me, this was with men. Like I was manifesting men who wanted to hang out with me, who wanted to be good to me and everything, but they were not ready for a relationship. And I saw that this was a pattern. This was not like one guy. This was like a few guys, one after the other, and it was kind of the same cycle. And this is the time for you to see that, oh, there's a pattern. These men are not willing to commit. And what is the common denominator in all these situations? Me. So the reason these people are not willing to commit to me is because there's something that is subconsciously holding me back. And that's the only reason why this pattern is repeating. And once I realize that, once I understand what the subconscious pattern is, I can break it. And if life is trying to teach you a lesson, and if you are living the same loop again and again, unless you learn the lesson, you are going to keep learning the lesson again and again. Universe is going to throw situations and circumstances at you, which are going to make you feel that same way, stuck in that same loop, till you learn your lesson. So understand where it is that you're getting stuck, what your pattern is, what is the same thing that's repeating in your life. And once you realize that, go change it. And know that everything is happening for you, babe. It's not something to be afraid. It's something to have faith. It is something to look forward to. It's something to be excited about. And that is everything for today's video, guys. If you like this, do leave a like and comment. Let me know what you guys think. And it's really nice to have you here as a part of my community. I'm so grateful for you guys. And if you are someone who's having a tough time with your manifestation, you are having a tough time staying in that positive state of mind to manifest your desires, then you can check out my MRM Academy, which is my manifestation academy. The link is in the bio. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I would love to talk to you and know more. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.